Good evening. Welcome to the program. I'm Stephen Leader, your host. I have with me in the studio Bruce Beaudette. Bruce, why are you wearing that?
Well, today we're going to be discussing Burning Man, and one of the things that happen at Burning Man is you have to deal with weather conditions. At 3 o'clock in the morning, it'll be quite cold sometimes. There wasn't this particular burn, but that's why people bring warm clothing and fur clothing and scarves and hats and all that kind of stuff.
Lift your chin up a little bit higher so that we can actually see this thing. This is not a dust filter. This is actually a small furry creature with antenna.
Antenna. And lots of folks also dress creatively at Burning Man. And anyways, the point of all this is that there can be rather big dust storms. Or during my last experience at Burning Man, I had the opportunity to get into an art car, or the back of an art car with a friend of mine named Salamander, or as he refers to them, mutant vehicles. And while there wasn't much sand blowing at the 2011 Burning Man like there was at the 2010 Burning Man, where there was big dust storms throughout the week, on the back of his art car it was very helpful to have goggles so that I could actually see instead of just sitting back there with my eyes closed the whole time.
Well, why don't you remove all that stuff, and that way we can get a glimpse at you.
Finally.
Yes,
It's a little bit
finally.
warm.
It is a little warm with that. So this is not your first Burning Man, is
No.
it? How many Burning Mans have you been to?
Went to my first one in 2010, and now my second one in 2011.
So you're no longer a virgin.
Now, when you're a virgin and you actually agree to let the greeters at Burning Man know this, the greeters will offer to, will ask you to roll around in the playa.
And why would one do that?
It's just a rite of passage for a virgin. And so when you get out of when you arrive, they ask if you're a virgin or not. And if you say yes, they ask you to come out of the vehicle and then roll around in the playa dust.
So you're immersed in the whole Burning Man experience from the get-go,
Yes.
or at least get dusty.
And then they have these large bells that the virgins also ring as well.
That sounds... Did you ring a bell last year then?
Yes, I did.
Great. Well, this is actually a call-in show, so if you want to share your experiences with us here in the studio, please feel free to go ahead and call us at 415-861-6648. So how many outfits did you have to bring with you? It's a week-long event, isn't it?
Well, Burning Man is a very simple thing. A good friend of mine, Kitten, who is one of the kind of organizational sort of people behind the camp that I stay at called Comfort and Joy. He's a bit more minimal and simple in his attire choices, and so I frequently saw him in sort of coveralls and things and not elaborate costumes. But for those of us that do enjoy wearing more elaborate costumes, then you just need to bring more stuff. And luckily, the Comfort and Joy camp, we bring up to Burning Man a large moving van. And in that large moving van, you can pack it full of suitcases and things. And we have staging, tents, and those sorts of things. And so you can bring as much as you want to, or as little as you want to. I mean, a lot of people are walking around in just jock straps.
Good Lord.
So you can go either way. I prefer more clothing than less clothing, but other people prefer, like me, more clothing.
Well, I mean, that brings up an interesting point as far as temperature goes. How hot does it get? I mean, and would you want to be exposing all of yourself to the hot desert sun?
And that's one of the reasons, too, wear clothing as well, is that, clothing can offer a certain level of skin protection, which, since at noontime, it can get very, very hot. And our camp had a variety of different structures that one could go into for shade, to save your skin as well. And no matter how rugged your skin was, eventually the sun would bear down on you and kind of start to wreak kind of havoc on your strength, and you might need to take a nap, or and staying hydrated was a very important issue as well.
Well, you said you're camping with comfort and joy. So what is it like camp? What does comfort and joy bring to the Burning Man experience? I mean, if I wanted to go by myself, as somebody who doesn't know that much about camping, I really shouldn't. So should I hook up with comfort and joy, and what could I expect?
Well, at the Burning Man website, they have like pages worth of information about things that you need to bring with you, things that you need to think about. Very simply, one does need to consume X amount of water every single day. You just need it, and it's so hot there that you need to be very conscious of hydrating. Comfort and joy, on the other hand, usually brings an abundance of water, and so there's lots of water for drinking or bathing or different things.
And we actually have a call coming in, so
Oh.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, who's this?
This is Marc Bossa. Hi, Stephen. How are you?
Hi, Mark. I'm fine.
Good, good. Just calling in to say hi to you and Bruce.
Great. Have you ever been to Burning Man?
No, I have not. I hope to go someday. Is that what subject you're on?
That's what we're talking about. Yes.
Well, here's somebody that was there that might want to say something.
So,
Are we live?
yes, we are live.
This is Yoga Daddy
Hi.
on the beach.
Ooh,
Wonderful.
nice.
Reporting live from the Golden Gate Bridge.
That's great. A spectacular day. Does it remind you of the burn?
Yes and no. Here there's water and plants.
Ah,
Other than that, it's very similar.
And lots of sand, lots of bodies floating around on this day?
Excuse me?
Were there quite a few bodies today at the beach?
Yes, it's a busy, somewhat busy day. Also, it's hard to get here. Some of the trails say trail closed, but then you have to push on and break through. And the second sign says trail open.
So, Yoga Daddy, you went to Burning Man this year. How was it for you?
Fabulous.
and how was it then different from any previous years that you'd been there?
Oh. Well, I'd only been the once before. So
Okay.
it was different in the sense that I was more prepared. I knew exactly all the things to bring that I had forgotten the first time. And I knew to keep it relatively spontaneous. I like that about Burning Man. And to kind of go with the flow, and you hear about something cute going on and go with it. So it's a nice place where a lot of creative expression happens, between the lines. Yeah. Besides the art, everyone makes very creative use of their time and energy.
Now, were you present for one of the things that I wanted to do at the camp was to be there, and I almost kind of wasn't there due to going out for a bicycle ride with my friend Frisk, who's going to be tonight at the Lookout to support his movie Skinny Fat. And I expressed a desire to be back at the camp to greet the somewhere between 100 and 300 naked male bicycle riders who ended up
I was there for the reception. Okay, so that's the funny story. While they were on the bike ride, I was doing my yoga in that pink and orange tent, and then Queen started coming and setting up the bar, and I said, okay, I better go to the pink. So I went to the pink gym to finish my yoga, and this straight guy was teaching a class to two women. It was a glutes class in the pink gym. Anyway, it was just so random. And but I had a nice time. I did my yoga, and then I went to join the reception.
Well, Yoga Daddy, thank you very much indeed for calling and sharing your experience with us.
The other thing that I did differently this time at Burning Man is to be there for the sunrise more often.
Oh, good.
That
I think that's a very important part of Burning Man is the nightlife.
That sounds spectacular.
I think everyone should go. That is all.
Well, thank you, Yoga Daddy, for sharing.
Would anyone else like to be on live TV? Rinky Dinky?
I'm sorry?
Hello,
Oh,
Hello, who's this?
it's Rinky Dinky.
Drinky Dinky. And did you go to Burning Man?
Yes, I did.
And how was it for you? What were your favorite experiences?
Is Bruce there?
I am.
Bruce is there.
Hello, Bruce. It's me. It's Rinky Dinky.
Hello, Rinky Dinky. Nice to hear your voice.
I'm all the way from Australia, and I came to Burning Man, and it was amazing.
What special memories would you take back to Australia with you?
I cannot tell you. Because it's all blurred together into one big thing. I can't separate the memories.
So, in other words, what goes on at Burning Man stays at Burning Man?
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
If I told you, I might have to kill you. Too
Ooh.
fabulous. Too fabulous for radio, darling.
And especially too fabulous for television.
And as I speak to you, I can see a man walking towards me on the beach wearing a bubblegum pink neon thong. And he has platinum blonde hair and dark olive skin, walking in front of the Golden Gate Bridge. And I have to go and seduce him now.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, it's like just being there at Baker, because it sounds like they're at Baker Beach, and it's a gorgeous day. People are dressed. Burning Man started here in San Francisco,
Yes.
didn't it? Back in the, mid-80s, I think, at Ocean Beach.
Yes. It did start in San Francisco, as I understand the history. I'm not sure the exact year. But it started as a much smaller event, then eventually grew and grew and grew. And it's funny very often to run into people who say that, when they went to Burning Man at one point, there was, oh my gosh, 30,000 people, and it just seemed too big. It had gotten too big.
Right.
And from a conversation that I had this year with a mutual friend of ours, Salamander, he had told me that this year there was they're ever increasing the number of people.
Yes.
So last year there was 50,000. Salamander stated who is part of the group of people that help decide who should bring the mutant vehicles, the art cars, to the event.
Right. So.
Now, we also brought, to show people, too, some images from Burning Man.
Right. Yeah. As a matter of fact, though, we were talking about. Let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe it might,
Okay. So this is the first one, which is.
Now, this particular image is a lovely image by Chickpea, one of our camp mates, and he had posted this beautiful photograph of a large sign, which is, those letters are actually much larger than a human, so they're maybe 13 feet tall or something.
Good Lord, they don't. It's hard to get a sense of perspective actually
Yeah.
on that. And what is it made out of?
Like a corrugated metal. And last year, the same artist had produced a piece of artwork called Oink. And this year it was Love. And I love the perspective of this particular image. I've seen both the statue and what's behind it is the temple, which is one of the more serious structures where people go to meditate, sometimes leave mementos from lost, parents or brothers or people that maybe have died somehow.
Okay, now is this the camp that we were with, or is this that you guys were with, or?
Yeah, this is the camp that both Yoga Daddy, myself, and Rinky Dinky were in, Comfort and Joy. This particular piece of artwork behind us was done by a man who calls himself Neon, and he calls that Mylar Rain. There was actually 3 Mylar Rain pieces, and a lot of people like to ride through it with their bicycles or walk through it. I think it's just lovely to walk through the reflective mylar ones more than this particular one with a flashlight at night, because then the mylar just all kind of shines, and it's just really special.
Now, actually, I noticed that you are wearing some lovely fluorescent necklaces around your neck.
Which reminds me too. Both Neon here, who produced this particular piece, and in the background there's some banners which were produced by my friend Chickpea, and we had a lot of neon and neon UV lights lighting up all these things, and so I decided both last year and this year that if I'm going someplace where there's lots of neon, lots of this black neon light, or UV light I should say, I'm sorry, that's the word I'm looking for, to wear clothing that would be reactive to this. So
you would stand out.
So this whole thing was reactive to all of that.
Okay, and who are we looking at here?
That's a friend of mine named Joseph. His second year at the Burn, he ended up, through circumstances, a guest of someone who couldn't come to the camp, and turned out to be a wonderful worker and a great chef. We always love having people help out in the camp in any number of ways, and this nice fellow was more than happy to help out in endless things, plus cook us endless breakfasts and dinners and things. And
what kind of cooking actually was there? I mean, are you looking at cuisine, vegetarian cooking, or good homespun cooking, or stuff that you really wouldn't want to feed to a dog? I mean,
Well, X number of our campmates are vegetarian or vegan. The majority of people today with us actually do eat meat, so we always had to make food for both parties. Bacon seems to be a rather popular staple there.
Really?
It stands, a different sort of process. Like it's been cured, so it holds better through that sort of experience.
More preservatives.
So
perhaps.
a lot of bacon.
Okay, now this chap looks familiar right there on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side. Go on the left.
That'd be a
There
lot
you are.
left.
You are on the left.
The fellow in the sombrero is me.
Okay, there you see on the left. Yes.
Now, the gentleman on the right is a good friend of mine from Los Angeles named Gareth Chen. And Gareth is demonstrating clothing that you'd wear on Tuesday for 2-2 Tuesday. I, on the other hand, decided one of your previous guests, Thugsy the Clown, had a garage sale, and I saw this zombie baby doll who was wearing a tutu, or she was wearing a tutu. So that's why I'm not wearing a tutu. I'm actually wearing the same garment I'm wearing right now in the picture. And I was wearing the doll with the tutu as opposed to Gareth wearing the actual tutu on his body.
Quite.
Oh, and behind us are the beautiful banners by Chickpea.
I see them.
Beautiful fluorescent fabric banners, which draw people at night to our camp because they just stand out so much. Beautiful.
Now, what is this that we're looking at?
Now, this is one of the pieces of artwork at Burning Man. Lots of artists bring artwork, and this particular piece of artwork spun. On either side, the participants had to pull ropes, and these skeleton fellows had oars, and as it spun and there was a blinking light on it, it would appear to be animated. So as if these skeletons were rowing into the afterworld.
Wonderful. And this piece, the whole theme is rites of passage, isn't it?
Well, this particular year, every year there's a different theme. Last year's theme was Metropolis,
Right.
which spawned references to Superman or references to cities and
of course, Metropolis from the 1920s.
that
Fritz
movie,
Lang
the Fritz Lang movie.
Absolutely.
I mean, all these different references that people were referencing with their art, and just thinking about it instead of taking it so topical, digging deeper down into it. So for us, a gay camp, a major rite of passage, is coming out of the closet. Right. And one of the next pictures that'll come up, there's a series of rainbow-colored doors that
that we'll get to in a moment. We've actually only got about a couple of minutes left, so we'll speed up our trip through the pictures.
Okay.
Okay. So this is one I absolutely love. This is of you picking up Burning Man.
Yes.
And he
Checking to see if he had a hernia.
he does look a little gay in this picture.
Yeah, a lot of people thought he looked gay, and plus the way that he was lit up at night. I wish I had one of those pictures here. He had a sort of a striding kind of gay
Mince about him.
mince
perhaps.
about him.
And there is a shadow of you.
There's a picture of me and the man.
Okay.
This is one of the regional pieces of artwork from Austin, Texas, eating its tail.
Quite beautiful. And here's the rites of passage right here.
Yeah, so these were 3 doors that my friend Digger and I and another friend Frisk and a few other people helped us work on it. On the other side were rainbows.
Pictures by Dot, by the way, right?
Oh, this particular picture is by Dot, in fact.
Dot, yes, yes. So you actually worked on these doors, these rites of passage.
Yeah, and these doors you could walk through. This was kind of a nice thing that came from Las Vegas. 2 fellows that stay with us, and it's a series of sort of hammock things. It's quite a large structure, and you can climb and sleep in it or climb around inside of it. It was a lot of fun.
And there are the doors again.
There's the lovely doors.
Rainbow
and
flags.
these particular doors were reactive to the black light as well. So at night, it was part of the beautiful artwork that was there on the playa.
And speaking of beautiful, there is Bruce, looking gorgeous in one of your pairs of sunglasses. We're going to quickly slip through these.
So I would certainly recommend, as other people say, try Burning Man out. Give it a shot. You can approach it as quietly as you want to, or as extravagantly as you want to.
That sounds like excellent advice. I think we should also give a shout out while we've still got time. First of all, to Skinny Fat, which is going to be at Lookout tonight
In the Castro.
In the Castro at 7 o'clock.
Actually, 8 o'clock.
At 8 o'clock, thank you. And Bruce, happy birthday. This is for you. Hello, Panda.
Oh, it's my birthday.
It's your birthday.
Panda
thank-
cookies.
Yay. Thank you very much for being on the program, Bruce, and we'll see you next week.